Well, we're back again for another edition of Akau TV, and we're joined for the first time of the season by Akau co-trainer Sam Burgess. And Sam, how's the off-season been for you? It's been a while since we've seen you.
Yeah, pretty good. Hazy managed to shoot away for a bit of a holiday when we were quiet, but it certainly ramped up really quickly. Plenty of trials, and we're cracking on to the racing now. It's good. Obviously, Hawke's Bay Saturday, I should say. It's really exciting. On getting hopefully some good tracks, and the drier weather's coming, and the days are slowly warming up. So an exciting time in the stable.
Excellent. And yeah, as you mentioned, the weather's been good this week, so fingers crossed that kind of stays through to the weekend, which it looks like it's forecast to do so. We're looking forward to seeing some good racing on a good track on Saturday. Yeah. Sam, outside of that, mate, the racing awards are obviously Sunday night. A massive year for you, first time in training partnership, obviously with Mark taking out the Trainers Premiership on debut, I guess, for the first year. Can you talk us through the season and how it's gone for you?
Yeah, obviously, it's been massive. It's been a huge success. It's sort of been a whirlwind. It's flown by, really. It's sort of been busy, and there's been a lot of good days, along the way. Obviously, we started off with a hiss and a roar at Hastings this time last year. We were lucky enough to pick up my first Group 1 with Skeworth really early on in the season, and we had a fantastic day that day, and sort of Imperatrice sort of marked herself on the scene as well. And then it's just gone, step by step. It's been fantastic. Obviously, I'm not naive to the fact I'm extremely lucky to be in the position I own, and very grateful to Mark and Karen and Dave, for being given this opportunity. Many people would, love to be in my shoes, and I sort of pinch myself every day, getting to work early and walking down the barn and seeing some of the thoroughbreds we've got here. It's incredible, and lucky enough to be supported by a fantastic team as well. So, it's sort of, I haven't really reflected on it too much. It's sort of been cracking on next season, but it'll be looking forward to Sunday night. My parents are coming up as well, and some good mates there as well at the awards. It'll be good to sort of celebrate the season that's been, because, like I say, I'm extremely lucky to be in the position I'm in, and it's been awesome.
And those kind of nights don't come around every year as well. So well-deserved, Sam, and onward and upwards for the next season again. So just quickly looking at the winners of the week that's been, there were a few. Quintessa in the Cochrane Stakes probably flew under the radar there, carrying the top weight. But, boy, she was impressive.
Yeah, massive. Like, obviously, she had the trial here in New Zealand, and probably to the eye was just only okay, but she's just a race day horse once those blinkers go on, and she knows it's race day. God, she tries so hard. Mark was quietly confident there. She has a really good first up record, and we knew she could sprint. It's just the weight was probably the concern, and obviously the valley, but she was aided by a great ride, and it sets her up well for the upcoming spring, obviously. The Let's Elope Stakes next, and hopefully it culminates in something like the Empire Rose, but exciting times ahead for her.
Awesome. And good to win the first 2-year-old race of the season, which has become a bit of a habit for the team. 2 Bravery Born scored really impressively.
Yeah, he's probably surprised us. He's not overly big, but he was impressive. He was very tractable. The way he won was probably the most impressive thing. He sort of half got spat out the back there, and he tracked through nicely. And Opie, gave him a massive post race. So, he travelled back and he licked the bowl, and he did well for a very young horse. It's quite a big trip for them. But he's gone out for a short 2-week break out in the grass, which he's well deserved. And obviously we can sort of map from there. Hopefully, there's some plenty good races for him over summer, hopefully culminating in something like the Cracker Million.
Awesome. And 3 winners there at Riccarton. Reese tipped the viewers the victress there, and she got the job done pretty well. She headlines the Philly Syndicate alongside Captured by Love.
Yeah, she was really impressive. Obviously, a fantastic day down there. Hunter and the team, continued on from last season. He's done a fantastic job, and as is the team down there. She was super impressive, and hopefully leads on now to the Canterbury Bell Saturday week. But yeah, Kabuji was good. Good to see him back in form. It was a good, tough effort. He sort of got heated and probably passed. but he kicked back. So hopefully he can get a bit of confidence because we know he's talented on his day. And Fellini, obviously, a high-class 2-year-old. It's good to see him back in form. First go at 1,800. So potentially opens up another avenue if we could maybe even push him out to 2,000 at some stage. And he, as Mark sort of said it in the post-race wash-up, he's a bit of a gun hurdler actually. So, another string to his bow, but another horse that's hopefully got a bit of confidence now and can go on with it.
And my lips are sealed, obviously, there at Matamata on Wednesday. Another good victory.
Yeah, she's obviously a talented mare now. Obviously, just nipped in Eulogy last year. Gets through wet ground, which, as we know in New Zealand, you can cop a lot of wet tracks throughout the whole year. So she's certainly one we think can go on with it, and hopefully up to black type this year.
Excellent. Well, let's look at the races there at the Hawke's Bay on Saturday. We're kicking off in race 5, the listed Al Rocker Sir Colin Meads Trophy, 3-year-old set weight conditions, 1,200 metres. Moved to strike, the last start winner of the Awapuni Sires. Comes here on the back of a couple of impressive trials.
Yeah, obviously really looking forward to seeing him back out in the public eye under race day settings. But we can't fault him, like the prep we've had sort of heading in towards Saturday. We thought the 2 trials were really good. Opie's done a lot of work with him, as has the team at the Colt Barn here, and he seems to have come back in really good order. We always thought he'd get better from 2 to 3, and he's showing us those signs on the training tracks that he has. We took him to Taupo on Monday just for a bit better ground. It's obviously very wet here at Matamata. If anyone who watched the races yesterday would have seen. And he galloped super on a soft track, and a massive thank you to the Taupo Racing Club for allowing us to do that. And he seems in really good order. We can't fault him. Obviously, probably a field sort of light on numbers, but high on quality. But we think he's up to it.
And 2 fillies there headline the team's chances in the Gold Trail Stakes for the 3-year-old fillies under set weight conditions over 1,200 metres as well. Captured by Love and Damask Rose.
Yeah, like both of them heading into it. Obviously, Ken's filly is probably the benchmark as the market reflects that. But we're certainly happy with our 2. Damask Rose probably trialled only fair at Te Rapa. We're sort of scratching our heads after that. But we've taken her to Taupo twice to gallop on a bit better surface, and she's showing us really positive signs. Opie actually worked her on Wednesday here at Matamata, and he said she's certainly gone the right way since. And she's sort of got a bit of sense of timing about her. She's coming right at the right time, we think. Her coat's starting to really come out, and she's certainly doing well in the feedman. So she's certainly not out of it. The market sort of suggests she's pretty rough, but we think she's a really strong each way chance. Obviously, probably the only thing we're worried about is she is lightly raced. She's only had the 2 race day starts, which could count against her. But we think the good ground's the key to her. So really looking forward to her stepping out. Obviously, second in the Cracker Million at her second start is a massive effort. And she's got a lot of upside. And Captured I Love, obviously a fantastic 2-year-old last year. I thought her trial was much better at Taupo there, on a bit better footing rather than the Te Rapa trial. And her work on Monday at Taupo was super. Obviously, Opie aboard helps, and they've both got sort of kind barriers where they can sort of not be dictated to it and sort of work it out from there, but really looking forward to it.
Excellent. Moving down to race 8, there's a scratching there in Trobriand, unfortunately drawn wide there, so comes out, and then we move to the Group 1 on the card there, the Westbury Stud Tarzino Trophy. Skew Whiff looked the big improver coming out of the Fox Bridge. Has she trained on? Yeah.
Look, really, really pleased with how she's come out. Obviously, sort of loomed up to win and probably blew out that last little bit on that testing track, and we drew in, and Opie sort of thought that sort of played against us in the end. But fair play to Bonnie Lash, she was just too good. Obviously, we meet her there again on Saturday, and it is a high quality field. Unfortunately, drawn the outside, which doesn't help. But look, we've got Opie aboard. I'm sure hopefully he can slot in sort of forward and midfield there, one off, hopefully. It looks like a bit of speed in it. So hopefully they sort of string out and he can slot in somewhere there. But she's showing us plenty of signs that she did the previous year, sort of heading in. We've got her as good as we can get. We think she still looks a bit rough in the coat, which she did last year. She's just one of those ones that takes a bit while to come out of the winter. But she's a tough gritty little mare, and she's certainly going to put her best foot forward there on Saturday against some high quality gallopers. But we're really pleased with it.
Excellent. And I guess what you wish for comes out of the last race there again due to a wide barrier. So that wraps up the runners for the weekend. Not many to choose from for the best bet, Sam, but can you match Reese from last week?
Yeah, geez, I actually wasn't too flash on the tipping last year, so hopefully can get off on the right foot. I'll go move to strike. I'm really looking forward to seeing him step back out. Obviously, it's a Group 1 day, and the fields reflect that, and there's some good gallopers, and you obviously need a bit of luck on the day, but I think he's a really strong chance for us.
Excellent. And I guess just wrapping up there as we move ahead to next week, you mentioned we've got the Canterbury Bell Stakes there at Riccarton, and I think they're racing in New Plymouth as well, but some interesting runners have kind of turned up on Australian shores recently. Can you just touch on Truth or Dare, Stage and Screen, and its business time and some of their plans moving forward?
Yeah, it's business time coming out of a really good jump out there on Monday or Tuesday at Cranbourne, I should say. Obviously, a mare that did a fantastic job for us there last year. And the team of Windsor Park are keen to get over and have a crack at that Australian black type now. So she kicks off in a fillies and mares handicap there at Caulfield, I think it is, on the 21st. But look, a filly with plenty of upside, and we always thought the time would be her friend, and she's sort of finally maturing into that lovely big mare, and can certainly gallop. So looking forward to seeing her out in race day setting. Truth or Dare I thought was really good there at Te Rapa, on a testing track. He's got a big, massive stride, and looking forward to seeing him get up and trip, hopefully, a Derby horse at some stage. We think he's of that quality and can step out to that sort of trip. So whether that's in Australia or New Zealand, we'll obviously soon find out. The coming months will be telling, but he's sort of stepping up to 1,500 metres there next time in Melbourne. So one to certainly watch out for. And Stage and Screen at a filly we got from the Ready to Runs, who we've always thought had a really high opinion of. She's trialled very well here in New Zealand, so heads out. I think she's down to have a jump out there on Monday at Cranbourne, and I'm sure she won't be far away from the races.
Excellent. We'll keep an eye out on those three horses in the coming weeks over there in Melbourne. Thanks for your time, Sam. Good luck for the weekend. Hopefully you can get another Group 1 on the board early in the season, and good luck for obviously the racing awards there on Sunday night, mate.
Yeah, fingers crossed, Hazy. Thank you.